the professor here. Now, I've done a bit of units of, I call everything a unit. Anyway, I've done a pile of projects already of the UV resin, and I'm not good at it. But I'm going to tell you, with practice, I will be good at it. And it'll come in good and work out good with my 3D printing. So I'm going to show you why I'm not good at it. Because when I made this thing here, I'll put it in the camera here as well as I can. I made this here and it had rough edges, sharp edges, and I thought, how could I fix that? So I took a sanding block and I started to take the rough edges off. I even sanded the top of it. I just didn't care because if it wasn't going to turn out, well, what the heck? I'll just do it. And then I took this sanding sponge, which you can actually dip in water too. And then I'll show you on this one here. I took this wet sandpaper and brushed it all along the edges. So I worked at all the edges and made it soft. That's only 400 grit, which I was surprised. You could go a lot higher, a lot quicker, get a shine out of it. But I thought, hey, I'm kind of wasting my time. So I thought what I would do is I would order this stuff here. This is a epoxy cleaner, and this is an epoxy polish. And what happens is, now I've read the instructions, and I've decided to do some things my own way, which was actually started with, I dipped the sandpaper, which is wet sandpaper, in the water and worked at it. And just keep working at it. Now, you could watch TV and do this kind of stuff too. So anyway, I'll leave that in there. It ain't going to hurt it. It's not going to hurt it. And then I'll get myself a paper towel, clean it off. And then what I'm going to show you here is I'm going to reach back here because I've also got something else with it that they sent with it. They sent this nice soft cloth. So I'm going to put that there. Now, what I did do is I got this stuff here. And I took a little bit like that on the thing there. And I took this sponge and I dipped it in water. And I kept just doing this and working at it, and I kept going by hand, even with fingers, because this stuff, it won't harm you. Anyway, especially with the, now when you're grinding the epoxy with a grinder or sanding it, yeah, you should wear something over your nose and mouth so you're not getting the particles in. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take a regular paper towel. I'm going to clean this off. And I could hit it with, of course, this cleaner here, which will clean all that off. And I could use this. This ain't going to hurt. Still a soft cloth, and still, if something got a little bit hard on it, then it'll be different. Okay, so we have that. Now, what I went and did was I bought all of these. And these are buffing units. It also comes with some other stuff for doing silver and copper and all that. So if you're into copper and silver work, there's different things. So anyway, I got myself, of course, I've had this for a while. You may have seen it. This Dremel. And then this part could get a bit messy depending on how much. Now I just take a little piece, a little jab like that and put it on there. And then what I'm going to do is buff it. I just keep buffing. like that, all over. Now, once it gets on the wheel, you'll have enough on it, and you can apply more to it. You could also, I noticed that this works too. The cleaner. Now, they don't say nothing about this in the thing, but I did it on my own, and it adds a bit more, I find, polishing power. Okay, so I'll let that rest. Now I'll take this here and I'll buff this up a bit. Now, it's looking so much better. And you can actually read through it. Before, it was so chalky I couldn't read through it. Now, on this one here, I want to show you this one here. This one here, I could read through it now. When I first took the rough edges off, I couldn't read through it. I couldn't even see the actual fossil inside. Now it's like unbelievable. I love it. Anyway, and all I did was buff. I used the 400 paper, and then I got this stuff here. And I bought it off of course, off of Amazon. And it works really, really, really well. Now, you could probably get it to a buff like this. And take your time. Same with this unit here. Now, I've only made a few different things. Now, the eyes. Now, I made these eyes, of course. And I don't need to buff them as of right now. But if I installed them, and say I scratched it, I could actually sand it off and then polish it with this stuff here, and it would fix it up. So that would be really, really good. So as I go along, I'm thinking, okay, to polish, I could sit, like I said, in front of the TV and polish them up and do all that. Now this UV that I'm using, this stuff here, I'm using this stuff here, and you should do it in layers when you put it in your molds. Like when you put it in your molds, you should do it in layers, but I find it works okay as long as you can get to both sides with the light and you make sure it's set up, it's perfect. And I got myself a new torch to actually take the bubbles out. Now, if you get into the two-part mix stuff, which think I wouldn't recommend it at first. I've done it before many times. You should have like a pressure pot and change the pressure, take the bubbles out. Now we also have mixing containers that you can mix up and do stuff with that. And also with this one here, if you notice, it's got some color in it. Well, I actually use these pigments to change the colors. So now, another thing I picked up was, just bear with me here, I picked up this here, which is full of powders. So you could actually put some powders in. Now, if you go too crazy with the powders and the UV light can't see through it, it's going to take a little bit longer to cure up. So you don't really want to go too thick. Now, if you do, you go with a bigger light. And some people have a light that goes over top. Well, what I'm going to do is make a unit for this and adjust it so it goes over top. And then I can just put it down on a handle or 3D print something that'll work for me. And then I can do anything I want. And your imagination can take you anywhere. Now, if you're doing bigger projects, I picked up this stuff here. This is kind of like an unboxing today. You got all these different, they Velcro on. They're different, I'll show you what grits. See, there you got 200 grit. You've got, like, I don't even know what this one is. What's this one here? That's 3,000. That's 3,000 grit. So you put them on your drill. You can if you want. You can put them on. I got another unit that I put it on. That's a table saw with, but it has it also a little unit on it that does the trick. I don't know if I have it here or not. No, I don't have it in front of me. But anyway, gives you an idea. And like I said, you could sit down and polish this in front of the TV. So what do you think of all that? And hey, I haven't got out of 3D printing because this is going to help a lot with my 3D printing. But it's a lot of fun. But here's the stuff you got to start with. You got to have at least silicone molds to get started. Don't be afraid to make mistakes because you're going to do it. You're going to make mistakes. It's a little bit pricey, the stuff. So when you go online, I don't know if you have a store near you that carries it. I know we have one, Michael's, and I'm not sure how competitive they are with online, which I've noticed that online is pretty competitive. Some hobby shops may carry it. But anyway, that's it from me for this for now. And I will show you some more step-by-step stuff and some more 3D printing. So, hey, if you haven't subscribed, hey, subscribe. You never know what you're going to see. Not on my channel. You never know what you're going to see. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe.